I stood at the edge of the morning silence, watching the sun barely lift over the horizon, painting the world in a soft gold that reminded me of the man I loved. Ryne, my Ryne, was always like that sunrise, calm, steady, beautiful, and warming everything around him without making a fuss. It still doesn't feel real that he is gone. My world is quieter now, and yet the ache within me screams so loud I can barely hear my own breath. We spent a lifetime together. Not just in the years, but in the depth of what we built. Every touch, every late-night conversation, every time he wrapped his arms around me after a hard day, it built a fortress around my heart. And now, that fortress has been shaken to its core. People knew Ryne Sandberg as a legend on the field. A Hall of Famer. A man who played second base with the elegance of a concert pianist. They knew the stats, the championships, the gold gloves, the all-star appearances. They talked about his numbers and his legacy as though that was all he was. But I knew the man beyond the numbers. I knew the heartbeat behind the uniform. I knew the hands that held me when I cried, the eyes that lit up when he watched our kids play, the voice that whispered the words "I'm proud of you," when no one else bothered to say it. I remember the first time I saw him. Not on a ball field, not at a press event, not with cameras flashing. No, it was a quiet evening at a charity dinner in Chicago. He wore a gray blazer that barely fit his broad shoulders and had a bashful smile that betrayed the confidence everyone expected from a superstar. When he introduced himself, he didn't say, "I'm Ryne Sandberg, the Cub." He simply said, "Hi, I'm Ryne." It was that simplicity, honest and unpretentious, that made me fall in love with him. Ryne never craved the spotlight. Even though the world insisted on putting it on him, he was never hungry for applause. He always told me, "I just want to do my job well and then come home to you." And he did. Every single day. Whether he went 0 for 4 or hit a game-winning homer, he came home the same man. Steady. Gentle. Grateful. And that's the thing. Ryne was so grateful. For everything. For baseball. For the fans. For his teammates. For his health. But more than anything, for his family. He told me once that baseball taught him discipline, but being a husband and a father taught him grace. He carried his responsibilities not like burdens, but like blessings. He would wake up early just to make the kids breakfast when they had exams. He'd sit in the stands at their school games, no autograph seekers, no press, just a dad cheering for his kids. He never needed to be reminded of what mattered most. He was the reminder. We had our struggles too, of course. Every real love story does. We faced the long seasons, the travel, the time apart, the injuries, the transitions after retirement. There were nights when we sat in silence, trying to understand each other again. There were arguments, some silly, some serious. But we never stopped choosing each other. Every day, even in our brokenness, we kept choosing. And that is what makes our love story sacred to me. In recent years, especially after he was diagnosed, I watched him with awe. The way he faced his illness with the same dignity he wore on the field. He never complained, not once. He'd smile and say, "We've had a good run, haven't we?" And I'd nod with tears in my eyes, because I knew he wasn't just talking about baseball. He was talking about us. About the life we built. The birthdays, the anniversaries, the quiet walks, the Sunday mornings. The laughter in the kitchen. The sleepy I love yous. The forgiveness. The friendship. I stayed beside him as the days got harder. As the strength faded from his arms. As the voice I loved grew faint. And even in those moments he comforted me. He would hold my hand and say, "You're doing great, babe." That was Ryne. Always thinking of others. Always making someone else feel seen, even when he was in pain. The day he left, the room felt both impossibly full and heartbreakingly empty. Full of love, memories, whispers of our years. And empty, because the air lost its anchor. I kissed his forehead and told him he could rest. I told him he had been more than enough. That he gave us everything. That I would carry him in my heart for the rest of my days. The world lost a hero. The Cubs lost a legend. The Hall of Fame lost one of its brightest stars. But I lost the love of my life. My best friend. My partner in everything. The man who made ordinary moments feel like magic. And I want the world to know that the man who wore number 23 was more than his records. He was a man of character. Of humility. Of unwavering devotion. He never let fame change his soul. He stayed true to the game, to his fans, and to the people who loved him most. In his final letter to me, written in shaky handwriting just days before he passed, he said, "If I go before you, don't mourn like you lost something. Rejoice that you had something so rare, so real. Smile for me. And please keep laughing. I don't know if I'm strong enough yet to laugh. But I will smile. Because I got to love a man who lived with purpose, who honored his promises, who cherished his family. I got to love Ryne Sandberg. And that love will never die. So as we prepare to lay him to rest, I want to say this to the heavens. Thank you, Ryne, for being mine. For letting me walk beside you. For making me feel like the most important person in your universe. For never letting success steal your tenderness. For being a man our sons can look up to and our daughters can believe in. For all the quiet ways you said, "I love you." For every slow dance in the kitchen. For every morning coffee. For every shared dream. You may be gone from my sight, but you are stitched into the fabric of my soul. And when I look at our children, our grandchildren, or even your fans wearing your jersey, I will see pieces of you, and I will be grateful. Rest now, my love. Rest knowing you did life right. That you left nothing unsaid. That you gave more than you took. That you were and always will be deeply loved. I will carry your name with pride. I will carry your memory with tenderness. And I will carry your love forever.